So anyway, we got 8 things to take your mind off of shopping if you find yourself struggling. There, my handsome and pretty little Cobras, and welcome back to the Cobra's Nest. For those of you who are new, my name is Mignon Cobra and I make minimalism videos and intentionality living. So today's video topic is going to be 8 things that you can do to take your mind off shopping. So without further ado, let's just get to the video. Let's get it, let's go. Woo. Kind of on a roll with all these great tips because you guys know that I've definitely done like a lot more shopping in recent months. Last year I took a minimalism break, so I'm no stranger to shopping, and I feel like that's giving me like a new fresh perspective on shopping that I think probably be a more realistic guideline, because honestly I was giving anti-shopping tips without being a shopper myself, so maybe they were just so out of touch. Like some of the wild stuff I used to say. What did I used to say? I don't even know. Don't buy furniture. Makes no sense. So I got 8 things that I want to say that I feel like are a lot more realistic and like actually more applicable. Like these are actually like really applicable and less theology, because I was very conceptual in my previous tips, which I feel like it's almost like, were they even actionable? So anyway, we got 8 things to take your mind off of shopping if you find yourself struggling. Okay, so number 1 is take a nature walk. So obviously this one depends on where you live. I live in Canada. We have amazing nature, so I do my best to take advantage of that, because like I used to live in China in like downtown Tianjin and city core, and there wasn't much nature around, and so because of that I kind of realized that like having access to nature is actually really nice. And so because of that, now that I live in Canada, I do take advantage of the lovely weather when we do have lovely weather. For my fellow Canadians, you guys know that's like only a couple months in the year. I mean, I do also try to enjoy like the winter vibes. I know it's cold, but like I do my best. So all I'm saying is, if you find yourself like, oh man, all I do is shop, go into nature. I think that would be fantastic. You don't have to go for the long 1-hour walks that I did. Those are boring. But I think like, you know, a 20-minute walk, look around, look at the trees, you know, be present, I think would be very helpful. Okay, number 2, read a book. So this one I can finally advocate for. So for the longest time in my extreme minimalism journey, I was really anti-books. Like I would read on my Kindle, but I wouldn't read like a physical book. And I know this is like a privileged thing, especially if like if you're on your extreme minimalism journey, this might not really, you know, be applicable. I feel like books get scapegoated in the minimalism community, and it's true, they're heavy. You really can't travel with books. A Kindle does the job. But I find that reading does help a lot. If you are like, shopping fulfills that consumption feeling that we crave as humans. To be human is to consume. So I feel like reading is a productive consumption. When I read, I'm consuming content, right? I'm reading and consuming the content of the author, and it fulfills me in a similar way that shopping does, but it's a slower consumption and it's actually healthier. It keeps your mind sharp. It helps fight off Alzheimer's, and it's also good for your wallet. So I'm not saying buy a lot of books. Don't get those things twisted. Read a book. Don't shop for books. I had a friend who had a very bad book shopping addiction. She bought books, and I'd be like, have you even read these? She's like, I'm working, I don't have time to read them, but like I'm happy ordering them and sending them to the house. So don't buy the books, read the books. That was the whole point to this. So yeah, I go to Value Village and I buy cheap books and then I read them. And then if there's 1 or 2 that I was like, that was a terrible read, I return them back to Value Village, or go to the library if that's close to you. Okay, number 4. Delete social media for a week. If you find your shopping getting out of hand, just get rid of social media. Like unless catalogs are coming to your house, the deep penetration of consumerism is most likely through your YouTube, through reviews, Instagram, what your favorite followers are wearing, even TikTok. The hyperconsumption on TikTok is something I've already talked about. So if you're feeling like, wow, like there's just so many things I want to buy, get off social media for a week. Delete the app, uninstall it, log out, whatever it is you need to do, but don't be sucked in. And that's something that I do. I do take breaks, and you guys have seen that. Sometimes I just ghost for like weeks on end. It's me taking a break. So I feel like that would be something that could be beneficial, because it's it really is one long commercial reel. Okay, number 4, to take your mind off shopping. Sometimes we just like the act of doing. We like the act of shopping. We like the act of window shopping, and it's just the act that we like. And something that I have found that has really been beneficial to me is that cooking is something that makes me feel productive, makes me feel like I created something, I did something, and I consumed something. So if you feel like you can't get your mind off shopping, I think that taking up cooking would probably be something very beneficial, because like you'll get to do something, make something, and it's part of your Maslow's pyramid of bottom basic needs is food. So they're both forms of consumption, but I feel like one is more productive than the other. Okay, number 5, realize it's bad for your wallet. I feel like this tip is just so obvious, like the whole point, and I feel like we can finally have like a real talk. You want to shop less, and I feel like that's because you kind of realize like you want to get your financial, you know, shit together, and so I think sometimes we just have to say the truth. Like that much shopping is just probably not healthy for your wallet. It's not good for your finances, and like unless you run a business, if you have an hourly wage, like those are hours of your life that you're trading in for material possessions. And like I never really understood that when I was younger, and I didn't really work as much, but now that like I work full time, I kind of sort of understand that concept a bit more than I kind of would have liked to have realized. But they weren't kidding. You really are trading in your life essence, your life hours in exchange for material possessions, which is fine. Like don't get me wrong, I'm not demonizing that, but it's just kind of being aware that much shopping might not be good for your wallet. Okay, number 6, harming yourself financially. Now we're going into a more deeper aspect of why you want to get your mind off shopping, and I think sometimes addressing the issue and looking the monster in the face is necessary. If you find that like your shopping has kind of gotten out of control, sometimes you have to be honest with yourself. And this is what started my minimalism journey, is I realized that I was damaging myself financially, and that's what started my minimalism journey. I've mentioned this for my really old subscribers. The reason I went into minimalism was because like I had no financial handle on my situation. I was a shopaholic. Any money that I made at my part-time job, I completely spent it. I had no money to my name. I never had any money to my name. My friends knew I never had money. That's embarrassing. So because of that, I was like, I need to cut fully the umbilical cord of hyperconsumption, and that's how I became a minimalist. But I think sometimes it's just realizing that like you're not doing yourself any favors by turning all of your cash into trash. Okay, number 7, do a hard chore. And this is actually a Mr. Money Stash tip. This is not a tip that I came up with, but I think it's actually very phenomenal. He would mention some of the things that he would do to like kill the shopping bug. Was like he would do hard chores, he would do construction, or like work out or lift weights, or like ride his bike in the snow. And I would be like, whoa, like that's pretty hardcore. I mean, if that's something that resonates with you, go for it, ride your bike in the snow. But for me, I do hard chores. As far as a hard chore goes for, you know, my soft life, I'll be like, stop shopping, go do laundry, stop shopping, go mop, stop shopping, go vacuum. And that's something that's kind of helped me, because like that will kind of give me that feeling of like doing something. That sometimes the reason that I shop is because that I just want something to do. That's so embarrassing to say, but I don't know if that could help somebody else out. Do a hard chore. I go and I lift weights, or I go for a run, and it's like been phenomenal. And the 8th tip is actually related to that, and I think that working out takes time, and I feel is a lot more better payout for your time than shopping. Shopping is financially regressing you, versus working out is improving your health. So, and I mean, this is obviously like a tip that I want to be careful with, especially if you have a previous history of eating disorders. Since the base of my viewership is female, I used to kill the desire to shop by indulging my eating disorder. So please, this is a careful one. But if you're the type to just sit on your couch and scroll and shop, a little bit of exercise would probably be good for you. You know, balance is key. You know, moderation is key. So for me, when I feel like, okay, I should get off the Lululemon app or the Aritzia app, I tell myself, just go for a little run, you know, like, or go lift some weights. Like I use Will's weights and I exercise, and that has been really good for my mental health, because it's like, I don't know, sometimes I too am irresponsible. Like now that I make a lot more than I ever have in the past, like I'm still getting used to this level of income, so sometimes I'm irresponsible. I can admit that on camera, but something that's really helped me a lot is just kind of realizing that it's while it is nice to shop, there's other things that could improve my quality of life, and being responsible with my working out and my money is something that I need to put at the forefront. So I hope that these more useful tips could have helped you if shopping is just something that's just too much right now. Comment down below if there's any tips that you'd like to share, because you guys had to read the comments, and I think that'd be like really useful. All right then, thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.